Good afternoon, everybody. UncleClaude here. As you step into the live stream, make sure to hit the like button. That definitely affects the algorithm. It draws more people to the live stream, and in turn, it makes it more interactive. Normally, I do drop the link, and I might drop the link a little bit later, but it is important that I get my point across. And I hope that you can understand where I'm coming from. Now, I don't expect everybody to agree with what I'm about to say, and disagreement is fine as long as it's done respectfully. Disrespect will not be tolerated. I will escort you out with the quickness. And if not me, any of my moderators will do so as well. So again, make sure to hit the like button on the way in. And thank you so much for joining me. Just a moment. Okay, as you see, the topic is Trump, the Obamas, and Tim Scott. This will more than likely not be a very lengthy live stream. This depends actually on your interaction. I'm going to make this as brief as I possibly can. I really like to get right straight into the point. I don't like a lot of word salad, so to speak. So I'll get right down to it. If you've been a member of this channel for any length of time, I'm pretty sure that you know how I feel about President Donald Trump. Obviously, I'm not a fan of his. Never have been, never will be. There are several times where, as far as I'm concerned, he has crossed the line. More than crossed the line. But at this juncture, he is who he is. That doesn't mean that I cannot be fair and balanced. Has he done a very good job as president of the United States, as far as I'm concerned? Oh, the first term, absolutely not. I think he did learn from the first term. I think he's done a better job overall than Biden has. In fact, so far, I will give him a B minus grade. Listen, I gave Clinton, my God, just told my age. I gave Biden a D. He was dreadful. And again, that's just my theory. Has Trump done some very good things? He has, especially when it comes to patrolling the border, which is why he was elected in the first place. Well, a lot of people elected him for that. And plus, let's face it, a lot of people wanted to see change. People got tired of how bad the economy was under Biden. Hey, Mr. Carruthers, how are you? Always a pleasure to see you. In fact, I hope you can stick around because I know this is going to be a very spirited discussion. Again, I don't plan on staying too long, but I will drop the link a little bit later. And I don't mind people disagreeing with me as long as, well, you already know. I don't have to go through all that. I mean, you've been a friend and an ally for a very long time. You know the deal. We've had our spirited debates, so you know how that goes. Again, everybody knows how I feel about President Trump. And again, that doesn't mean I cannot be fair and cannot be balanced. And it sort of goes the same with the Obamas. And before everybody paints Barack Hussein Obama and Michelle Obama as victims, just keep in mind that this is the same president who said, and I quote, I'm not even going to talk about reparations for Black people. Just remember that. In fact, the majority leader at that time was, I believe, Mitch McConnell, or as they like to call him, or at least they used to call him, Moscow Mitch, when he was head of the Senate. He has since retired, of course. He would often quote Barack Obama in saying that, much like the president of the United States, I don't believe in reparations for African Americans. I really hate that. I hate that damn saying, African Americans, but that's another video for another day. You know, it's funny. Nobody calls people that come from England English Americans. Hey, Misunderstood, how are you? Always a pleasure to see you. You know, everybody has this hyphen American, and this is one of the very few things that I know Misunderstood is going to get a chuckle out of this, where I actually agree with her on. Like, we're all Americans first before anything else. Well, that's the theory. That's what we should be anyway. Unfortunately, there are certain people that remind us and go out of their way to remind us that there is a huge race problem still in America. You know, I really seem to chuckle a lot of times when I hear, oh, black people are playing the race card, this, that, and the third. And there are some that do. I'm not going to sit up here and say that that does not exist. But a lot of times it is other people who are pushing the envelope and remind us. And as you can see, and I'm not even going to say so much here, it is to an extent because the Obamas are brown skinned. But, and I'm pretty sure that everybody can agree with me here, even if you don't want to agree with me, you know deep down I'm telling the truth. Barack Obama's black is totally different from the black Americans who are born here and have had to deal with white supremacist racism in its full form. We have to remember that Barack Obama's mother is Caucasian. I hate to even use the term white because there are no such thing as, and see, that's another thing too. Race is actually a construct. And that started with Blumenbach and all those other people. And that's another video for another day. But I digress. Let me just stick with the here and now. There are no real white people or black people, this, that, and the third. We're all different shades of either brown or pink. Mr. Carruthers, neither race wants to put racism on the table for discussion. That's the problem. People are afraid of having that because they're afraid of either hurting each other's feelings, admission of guilt, or actually having to pay black folks what they're actually owed. But they want to hide and say, oh, you guys are asking for a handout. No, it's not a handout when we actually built this country for free. That's called services rendered, my man. That is not a handout. Hey, good afternoon, TCOG. How are you? Always a pleasure to see you. Always. So let's keep that in mind when it comes to Barack Obama and his wife, Michelle. And listen, now Michelle actually has more of a claim than Barack does, but I digress. But you know what? Oh, you're sore from Shove. Oh, man. It snowed more in Pittsburgh? Goodness. It snowed a little bit here. And in fact, it's 15 degrees. And our wind chill is a -5. So you know that I am staying my behind home in this warm air, and it feels really good in here. I did all of. He said he's Kenyan. I actually thought he was Nigerian. I'm going to have to fact check that. I think he's Nigerian, but I will check. He is Kenyan. Okay, let me. You know what? The same way you. I'm gonna hear this later, boy. I tell you. The same way you Google your recipes, I'm gonna Google. I'm gonna fact check Obama. Oh man, I'll pay for this later. Is Barack Obama's father Kenyan?
Yeah, Barack Obama's father.
Oh, you are absolutely right. He is Kenyan. You are.
He returned to Kenya and worked there.
Wow. Well, you learn something new every day. I was under the impression that he was Nigerian. I knew he was not. He was not. He was from Africa. I knew that, but I did not know he was Kenyan. And you are absolutely right. Misunderstood. And thank you for correcting me. See, ladies and gentlemen, I don't mind when people correct me, folks. When I'm wrong, I'm quick to admit when I'm wrong. I never said I was perfect. But again, the fact of the matter is he never said you did. Yes, I know he was. I do know he was born in Hawaii. I know you just don't say stuff. I understand. And once again, thank you very much. But again, it also backs up my statement that his blackness is totally different from ours that are born here. Uh-oh. He said that's debatable. Oh, well. That's between y'all. I've already stated how I felt about Obama. And Obama has taken advantage of the fact, and we do know this, and people, again, they want to, if you want to be upset with me, that's fine. If you want to say, oh, that's not true, you know, you're lying, but it is what it is. And listen, I was guilty of it as well. Many of us were. We never thought that we would see a black president in our lifetime. And a lot of us voted thinking that there would be change. A lot of us felt that, listen, change was coming. We were told that. We were given that a million times. Oh, change is going to happen. Well, you know what? Change did happen. It didn't happen for us. It did happen for the LGBT community, but I digress. And sit up here and say that's not the truth. Because now they're able to get married. They have many of the rights that many of us had to fight and die for years. And I'm not saying that they don't deserve those rights because, listen, every human being deserves basic human rights. That being said, it's amazing how they seem to have gotten more rights than many of us. I'm just saying. I don't think that's fair. But again, that's another video for another day. And that's actually been pretty much Obama's legacy. Listen, we do because, and I'm getting to that point later on. And that's how I'm actually going to tie all this up. But let me address the other elephant in the room, and that is Tim Scott. Tim Scott cracks me up. And whether people want to recognize it or not, there were black Republicans before Trump ever got into office. Let's put that out there first and foremost. But Tim Scott is one of those guys he just wants to fit in where he can get in, and he makes me sick. Yeah, he's a joke. I can't stand him. Tim Scott needs to take several seats. And in fact, you know what? Yeah, I might get a hit for this one, but hey, you know what? I'm feeling generous today. Tim Scott needs to shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear a damn thing he has to say about racism. You tried to convince us that there was no racism. And now all of a sudden, this is the most racist thing I've ever seen come out of this White House. Man, shut up. Keep your mouth shut. Gosh, I can't stand people like Tim Scott. You see, it's people like that we end up paying for. It's people like Barack Obama, who we wouldn't even know who the hell Barack Obama was if it weren't for Oprah Winfrey. And that is why the media is what it is. And I should have actually put that there also. Okay, he showed an abstract of perfect. Grandma said Kenyan. Well, listen, again, he's not one of us. I'm just saying. And when I say one of us, I mean fundamental Black Americans who were born here and built this country from slavery. And listen, everybody deserves to be here that came here the right way. And I have nothing but love for the people from the diaspora. Learning other cultures is a wonderful thing, especially when it is the cradle of civilization. But let's call it what it is. Their Black experience is so different from our Black experience. They didn't have to go through many of the things that we went through. When I hear a lot of them, and some of them, not all of them, have a disdain for us, and it was our civil rights movement that paved the way for these motherfuckers to be here. You have got to be kidding me. Take several seats. Several seats when you start talking about us. We have our problems as Black Americans that we have to fix ourselves. I am not disputing that. I will never dispute that. But let's not take away from the fact that if it weren't for our hard work, our blood, our sweats, and our tears, and it is amazing how everybody else has benefited, but we have. And some of that is because of us, but a lot of it is not. You were born in 1950. Wow. You got me by a lot. I was born in 1969, and that has been a blessing and a curse in several levels. But I digress. That number 69, let me tell you. Great year, especially in New York, but I digress. You're right, but listen. And you're a generation before Generation X, if I'm not mistaken. And your generation, listen, that's why I look at people like you, Mr. Carruthers. See, I look at my mother's generation. She was born in 1943. My grandmother, who was born in 1923. I look at those generations with awe. I look at those generations with nothing but pure pride. Because those are the people who made us who we are. And I don't know what the heck happened to the generation after, and I would say the generation not quite after us, but the generation twice removed from us. Because this generation here, baby, you talk about a lost cause, this generation. I don't want to say it's a lost cause because there are certain people that make you feel like, okay, this generation might have a chance. But then when you listen to the music, it's like, Oh, hell. This generation's screwed. But that's another video for another time. See, when it comes to President Trump and people like him, and not even so, and you know what the crazy part is? This is what you voted for. He is who he says he is. Remember, I know you football guys remember the late Dennis Green saying that after he got beat. He was the coach of the Arizona Cardinals then, and the Chicago Bears beat him in overtime. In fact, that was the year the Bears went to the Super Bowl, but they got smacked around by the Indianapolis Colts. I know you Bear fans are. I'm pissing you Bear fans off, and good. I'm glad to do that. But he said, they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. Well, that's sort of what's happening here with President Trump. He is who he's always been, and America will always let him off the hook. And to be fair, he is doing a better job than Jim Crow Joe or Sleepy Joe. And listen, I don't like to admit that, but the truth is the truth. I don't care. You know what? It's not always black and white. It should be about right and wrong. But no one wants to hear that. Yep, that's right. Men actually took care of their children. We did respect our black women. They weren't B's and H's. I agree. A lot of these men don't even respect the very womb they came out of. Football and politics, well, you know what? It's becoming more of a blurred line, but I get it. And it isn't the same. And because politics, you're dealing with people's lives. There's no question about it. You know what? I will say one thing: the politics in the streets are getting more blurred. What's that old say? You guess long, you guess wrong. But I digress. The very fact of the matter is, no matter who's in office, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's Trump, whether it's J.D. Vance, they're talking about Kamala Harris actually thinking about running again. Why? God, why? I don't know who the Democratic person, oh God, not Gavin Newsom. Maybe being the New York mayor. Oh, imagine that. Talk about upsetting the apple cart. You know what? People, I don't know if it's people don't understand or people don't care. But yes, history is definitely repeating itself. But these people are too into their YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and X and whatever is on their devices to even care. They want to get up their likes and their followings, and I mean, they're not even worried about getting paid anymore. I mean, I was always taught if it didn't make dollars, it didn't make sense. But now it's, oh man, I got so many streams, I got so many views. Oh man, I never knew a view that could pay for anything. But I digress. No matter who's in office, we have to be there for our families and our loved ones. We have to take care of them the best way we do know how. People do care, but it's the lack of being involved that is part of it. And we do have to be more vocal. And when I say vocal, it doesn't mean you always have to run your mouth. Running your mouth and having nothing behind it means absolutely nothing. As the Bible has taught us, faith without works is dead. I always keep saying, you know what? A lot of people know the Bible front and back. You know who else knows the Bible front and back? Satan. Does that make him great? Jeez. So we have to keep focus of what we need to do. And it's not always what they call you, but it's what you answer to, ladies and gentlemen. And the Obamas have done the right thing in saying absolutely nothing. Let them dig their own grave with this, so to speak. Excuse me. And people are outraged that Trump hasn't apologized. Why would he apologize for who he is? Jeez. Listen, he's never been apologetic. You expect him to start now? And even if he did apologize, do you want it? I don't want a fake apology. I'd rather you not apologize to me. I'm glad. I know who you are. I know exactly what you're thinking. That's great. I don't need your apology. All I need to do is focus on me and doing what I need to do. I shouldn't have to worry about how others define. See, that's part of our problem as a people. We have let other people define who we are for so long. It's ridiculous. I'm not looking for a pat on the head or a pat on the back from anybody else. When do we get over that as a people? Jeez. It's 2026 for crying out loud. All these people upset. From what? For what? This is what you voted for. You knew this comes with the territory. Who cares? And for Tim Scott to be out, please keep your outrages. You know where you can take that. Jeez, Tim. Wake me up when he gets a backbone. Tim Scott. Tim Scott isn't even good enough to clean their toilets. He was caping so hard for Trump, thinking, Trump's gonna get me a job. Maybe I could be sick. Man, you didn't even get Secretary of Roto-Rooter. You got nothing. He's a good boy. It's like Steven from Django. Sickening. That's exactly what we need to worry about. All we need to worry about is taking care of yourself and the others around you from one day to the next. That's all we need to worry about, not how others view us. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how others view us. It matters how we view ourselves in the mirror. I don't need Tim Scott's phony outrage. Okay, the Obamas are depicted as monkeys. Okay, like that hasn't happened before. We've dealt with far worse. Far worse. Are you going to compare that to what happened to the people in Black Wall Street? You can't. That's a bigger tragedy. This is nothing. Yeah, and this is And there's a way for the Democratic Party to try and garner support their way too. And neither one of these parties are for us. I mean, as Dr. John Henrik Clark has continually told us, we have no friends. And let's face it, with friends like those, do we really need enemies? Geez. But that's just my take on it. And you guys have been through it more than I have, and I've been through my share. I mean, let's face it, been through those long gas lines in the 70s, Reaganomics, HIV/AIDS, the so-called drug war, this pandemic. We've been through it all. And yet we're still standing. And we're going to stand through this too. I'm more worried about God's judgment than anything else, but you talk about another video for another day, baby. That is another video for yet another day. And he is actually fulfilling Bible prophecy. And I'll get into that in another video. Probably sometime next week. But with that, I'm getting ready to get out of here because I have to start preparing dinner for me and Mama Bolt. No, they have no idea what they're in store for. But you know what? We can give them warning, but it's up to them to heed it, right? You know, once in a while you gotta put down the computer, put down the phone, and live real life. Mama Bolton's doing great, by the way. Thank you for asking. Tell you what, she's living the life, let me tell you. She's eating better than I am, but I digress. Not that that's a bad thing. I could always use to lose a couple more pounds. But yeah, she's the best. 85 years strong. And with that, I will end this. And thank you so much, Mr. Carruthers. Couldn't have a better friend to the room. Yep, she's amazing. I'd like to thank TCOG, Mr. Carruthers. Of course, Misunderstood. I'd like to thank all those in the clouds, all those in the bushes. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And also, you know what? If you missed it or missed part of it, be part of the replay gang. That'd be nice too. It's always a pleasure having you, man. You're one of the best. Oh my God, here we go with this cooking challenge thing. Nah, Mr. Carruthers, I love you, man. UncleClaude signing out. Take care. Stay safe. And God bless. I might come on again later on today, and that will be a totally different live stream because anybody who knows, tomorrow is I know tomorrow for many of us is Super Bowl Sunday. Tomorrow is one of the worst days of my entire life, but I'm getting through it, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Take care, everybody.